Ridiculous, YouTube. Dang, dude. Stupid different format. How many times we do this? Hello, Cindy. Hop in, Cindy. All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back, but it takes a lot of fighting to get through it all to get to you guys. So, bear with me as we try to do this tonight. My computer had to restart, so we're going to slowly but surely pluck away at this. Let's get the music out of there first. All right, bear with me. Thank you for taking a moment of your time to be a part of this precious family here. Let me get this loaded up. Unfortunately, we're only able to get very minimal loaded up at a time, so just kind of pluck through this very carefully and try to make the best of what I got here. So, okay, so bear with me here just a sec. And really quick, here's today 110. All right, it's only one frame, so let's get out of there. Let's go back to yesterday, which I wanted to cover last night, and we had some issues, some technical difficulties. I don't know why YouTube's got this new format or whatever, but they sure messed up when I tried to start the show. Can't face the camera the other way. Can't do all this, so very irritating after already restarting the computer. So bear with me. Here we go. Not much to look at. Thank you. First of all, thank you for taking a moment of your precious time to be a part of this precious family. Okay. When you make it to the spiritual report at the end of the show, you will indeed find out how precious this family is and how precious you are to me. Okay. Whew. So let's try to get into this. Not much activity really around the sun to look at here for the past few days. Okay. Even we'll go back to the 8th here. That's where we kind of left off the last time I did a report with these objects right here. Okay, so not much to look at there. But what we're going to get to here, if we can, come on, computer. So you can barely handle one page. Okay, so there's not really much solar activity to look at. What I want to do is open up the solar ham here if we can, please, Lord. And get this going. All right, solar flux indices come down to 157, down 5 points since 24 hours ago. Sunspot numbers in the green. We're down 21 sunspots. Areas green too. Very quiet through the last periods here. Missing a bunch of data from today. Okay, even on stereo A, you can't see much of it, and here there's not much to really look at. So we're just going to continue on. X-flare potential 10%. We haven't been taking on too much activity. A couple of little KP4, just under KP4 here, a few of them. So not too much. Our auroras at the moment are pretty normal. Okay, there's only one beta gamma, and it's declining. The solar filament located in close proximity to 39 and 47 erupted beginning 10. Here, let's just go to the tracker here. Whew. Hang on for a second here. A little hot here. Whew. Not much there. Hang on. All right, I'm not feeling too good. What I wanted to talk about is this right here. We're just going to cover this really quick because I'm going to go. We have the Uluwan here, punched a hole. It did a volcanic eruption so high. I want you to listen to this report really quick here. Ooh, I'm not feeling good right now.
On the rim of the Pacific, Indo-Pacific Ocean, and the eruption of it has actually created a hole in the tropopause of the Earth. Tropopause is a layer that is thermally isolates the lower part of the atmosphere from the top part. So is a temperature difference caused that. This volcano was able actually to give the kinetic energy to the ash particles to actually pass through that with the heat and reach the stratosphere. They are now at the height of 20 kilometers, 60,000 feet. And they have created a lot of problem, and locally, this volcano is notoriously famous for creating the largest amounts of the sulfur dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere. Tropopause, as I mentioned, varies according to the heat gradients from the tropics to the...
Okay, here's the troposphere right here. Let me get this full screen for you guys. All right. Mount Everest, still within the troposphere. This little line, the barrier between the stratosphere and the troposphere, this barrier right here is a different gradient of temperature. Most volcanoes hit this layer and then blossom out and turn into a big mushroom cloud. Rarely do they punch through this tropopause, okay? And that's the barrier right there between the stratosphere and the troposphere. Takes a lot of pressure to do that. Let's pull up this one here. So here's the troposphere of the Earth. This is where the planes and your weather balloons and stuff go. And in between that stratosphere and the troposphere, this little barrier right here where the clouds can't penetrate, the heat and the pressure from that volcano was so much that it punctured the tropopause, okay? It punched through it. Now, we haven't seen a blast like that since Tonga, all right? Now, feel a little better here. Let's just go right over here to the volcano page real quick. 37 erupting, 37 and warning, 237s back to back right there. That's 74 total volcanoes. I just want to pop this open and go through here. Ibu here. Okay, Suwanosejima 5,000, Ibu 7,000, Semeru 14,000, Santo Guido 14, Fuego 16, Nevada del Ruiz 22, Reventador 14. Okay, here's the 10th, which was today's, now yesterday, because I can't do it, you guys, so just a lot of earthquake activity going on right there. Tall volcano on the list there. Ibu, Luatobi, Semeru, where to go. White Island volcano had a pretty healthy eruption. Songhai, all these names. Here's this new other little opening here in Iceland. You can come over here and check this out. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a full report tonight. Ibu, usually I be with you at 7,000 feet, 14,000 feet. All right. That other blast was 60,000, but it's nowhere to be found on this volcano report. Here's White Island erupting to 4,000 feet, Santo Guido 14, Fuego 16, Nevada del Ruiz, Songhai 20, Reventador. Okay, it's on the active list, but they're not really showing it here. Let's move on to tomorrow's, or the day before yesterday, sorry, not tomorrow, but the day before yesterday, where we had Suwanosejima had a big blast. See this gray clouds poking through the white clouds like that? And there's something going on back there. Yeah, there's a volcano going on behind these clouds right here. Here's Semeru. All these volcanoes are starting to puff, and White Island right here. 7,000 feet out of Ibu again. Suwanosejima. Semeru still 14,000. Dukono 8. White Island 3,000 foot blast. So White Island coming alive again. Popocatépetl 19. A lot of tall blasts over 10,000 feet here, and that one that punched through the tropopause into the troposphere is 60,000, and that's basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about while I can here. Is we had one that punctured the tropopause here. I want to find it again where he says 60,000 feet. One more time here. Can we have this one more time, Lord?
The rim of the Pacific, Indo-Pacific Ocean, and eruption of it has actually created a hole in the tropopause of the Earth. Tropopause is a layer that is thermally isolates the lower part of the atmosphere from the top part. So is a temperature difference caused that. This volcano was able actually to give the kinetic energy to the ash particles to actually pass through that with the heat and reach the stratosphere. They are now at the height of 20 kilometers, 60,000 feet. And they have created
60,000 feet. Okay. It's a huge blast, and they're not really talking too much about it on the volcano reports or anything there. But that guy does a really good job. You should come over here, give him some love, give him a like, subscribe to him. He's got a different accent, but a very, very just basic, simple. I like how he uses diagrams and stuff to help people grasp these concepts. Okay, it's very important that you wrap your mind around what's going on and how pressure from down below is pushing on the underside of the crust. It's heating up the crust, it's heating up the ground, it's drying out all the stuff, all the bushes, all the foliage and stuff, making it easier for fires. Okay, plus we have every time we have more blast, that's more ash going up into the air with more particulates, okay? Creating crazy weather. Let's try to get this, if I can do it, please. It's just been a long few days of spiritual warfare and lots of prayers going. So I've been under spiritual attack. Bear with me. Finishing up this icing event that we were looking at a few days ago, it did come through fruition. Did some mayhem at the Atlanta airport there, and that's what I was showing you in the intro there, were people jumping from the airplanes, going down the ramps and the slides and stuff. Okay, so travel being very hectic with not just with the fires here, also over here too. Current conditions, tomorrow morning, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 12th, noon, convection, nighttime, 13, noon, convection, nighttime, 14, noon, convection, nighttime, 15, noon, convection, nighttime. All right, so the weather kind of taking a break. That big old storm isn't out until January 18th. It's a little too far out, but that would be our next event to watch out for. Warm, moist air still coming up through here, running into cold air. Excuse me. Okay, let's see if we can get Null School up here. Take a little peek here at our ocean sea surface temperature anomalies. Been trying to keep track of this bulge of pressure that was going on here in the LA, in this bay right in here. Okay, so it had retreated a little bit. It was flared up when the fires kicked up then. And it retreated a little bit, but now this is a day old. Okay, so this is yesterday's. It seems to have like increased a little bit. What I'm gonna try to do here, go back a day. See, we're minus 1 day down here when I hit this little arrow. So we're going back a day. See how it receded there a day ago or 2 days ago. There's where I think the fire started, or there. So we're back like 5 days. Now we're going to go forward. You see the flare up right there. That's probably right around where the fire started. It recedes a little bit. And now it's encroaching again. This is our latest right there. All right, so we're having a little encroachment of pressure there in that region again. And they're going to have fires that are winds that are whipping around here again, going up to 60 to 80 mile an hour gusts. New record here in the Sierras, over 200 mile an hour gust up at the ridge tops, which is pretty incredible. Real quick here, you see this whole region growing in temperature and intensity and everything. Down here, Still this big old heat patch going there. All right, I'm gonna put the winds on. Excuse me, All right, you can see our heat patterns in the way our vorticity is rotating there, and we're getting this winds coming again around the backside of the Sierras. Now this is as of yesterday. You can see we got this rotation driving air in that area. I want to take a peek over here and see which way this flow is going. Okay, good. Some of this is going offshore because we got this big cold patch dipping down here and it's pushing winds downward offshore. So keeping the moist, warm air from getting up in there and creating severe weather. Meanwhile, it's keeping it cold way down in this region. So. Ugh. All right. Over warm water, warm air. Over cold water, cool air. Hot air rising, cold air rushing in to replace it. Okay, so you see your vortex rotation going on there. Oh, feeling okay before the show here. Again, cold air rushing in to replace hot air. Another rotation right there. Sorry, I'm trying to focus here, you guys. Let's check out these storms. Okay, pretty powerful storms out here in the Pacific, but we got this rotation that's just going to take it right down the shoreline and back out again. Also. All right, there's your sandstorm right there. That's a pretty healthy plume coming off of the Atlantic, or off of Africa, crossing the Atlantic right there. Okay, so lots of particulates in our air still. Okay, and lots of dust being kicked off of there. Still healthy amounts over here in the peninsula. Okay. Coming over here. Here's your country divided. Bleeding out on this side. Perforations of crust on that side. Get them fires pulled up. Oh, yeah, there's one there still. Okay. Okay, yep, they're still showing the fire there. All right, and little ones off to the side here. Okay, look at all the SO2 plume in the area. Okay, now before the fire started, we had an SO2 plume there. All right, but then it grew in intensity when that heat anomaly encroached in the area. It brings heat underneath the ground, drying it out, making the ground hot. Okay, any kind of leakage here could spark a fire. All right, comes out of the ground super hot. And we had the winds, which are a perfect combination for something to happen. We can go back a couple of days before the fire and you'll see it's still there. So this is sulfur dioxide. We might see some from like burning houses and other chemicals that get tossed in the mix with man-made chemicals and stuff. But most of this SO2 is because it's magma pushing underneath, trying to make it out through perforation. And in that region, we have a lot of faults. And we also have that structure, that teardrop structure that cuts right through that. Okay. Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. Oh, wow. Ooh. All right. Let's come over here. Deep Quake region. Bingo. 4.2 down at 592. That's a little lower than our typical magnitude. We're used to seeing mid-range 4. Okay. Right in here, very quiet. We've had Vanuatu going off. This also relieves a lot of pressure in that region there, this little pencil island. Up here is where Uluwan is, where the volcano just went off 60,000 feet. Here's a 4.7 at the surface, relieving pressure right there. But not a lot of activity. 4 here, it's on a volcanic structure. 4.6 on a volcanic structure. Can we have that off of there, Lord? All right, over here, 5.0 down at 97. That's off of Guam there. Here's something finally at right by Taiwan here, 4.4 down at 43. A little activity here, relieving pressure in the region, but we also have the opening on the ocean floor there. Just some mid-range 4s here, Fulcrum Point there in Pakistan. I want to come over here and talk about the volcanic activity that's been going on here. Earthquake activity around the volcano and volcano activity, all right? Coming in here, there's a volcano, old dormant volcano right there, and right next to it is this structure that looks like an old dormant, used to be a caldera that's filled in with water, with your 4.7 at the surface, 4.6 over here. So there's all kinds of volcanic features in this area right here, and it's coming to life. Another thing I was looking at last night is, where did I go? This. Now we have this African rift that comes through this region right here, right? Started looking at this thing, and I'm looking around the edges of it because there was earthquake activity around here not too long ago, and I was like, wait a second, there's a volcanic feature. There's all kinds of little ones all around this bigger feature right here. And when we pull back, starting to see it. What I wanted to do is, oh, please, Lord, no, 7-day all magnitudes. Yeah, see here, see this quake right here? It was a mid-range 4 at the surface. Now, you remember when I showed you this big, round, volcanic structure? Well, not circling it very well. That would be right on the edge of it at the surface. And we have all this activity going on right up here at the beginning of the rift where there's volcano activity or volcanic structures, right? We'll have to watch that region right there. This thing might be coming to life. Let's go take a look at some of the heat over in that region, shall we? Sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. I'm just frustrated, sick to my stomach, my head spinning and everything, ears ringing. It's quite an experience. What was I doing here? Oh, Africa, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at this over here. The rift runs right down through that region right there. Right. Okay, so there's your lake. Whoops. There's your lake. And there's your heat right off the shore right there. And look how intense it is here around Madagascar. So a lot of heat pressure going on underneath this area right there. Bless you, Dawn. Thank you, sir. Um, yeah, so we'll have to watch. This is going to continue in this area, I think, for a while. Okay, so we'll watch that area. A lot of pressure was relieved. Let me take it off of all magnitudes now. Ooh. So a lot of pressure was relieved in this area right here with that blast at Uluwan. So some pressure relieved, keeping magnitudes down in that region. We'll have to watch this area because we got pressure growing in that area. Just a quick little 5-0 down at 201 here. You see all your little plate boundary quakes and stuff. See if I can manage this really quick. Whew. Oh, magnitudes. There we go. So a little bit of activity at your Wanda Fuca, 3.3, very close to the surface, very shallow, 2.7, a little further down there. You got your geysers microquaking out, your activity over here by Yarrington still. We did have, here, let's go close that out. This little quake swarm right here. First, let's go look at our temperature in that region. And there's the Bay Area. And they got this little part blacked out, so you can't see what's right off the coast right here. But you can tell that there's a big old red bulge in this area right there. And I was talking about watching out for earthquake activity along the San Andreas. Well, here it is. 3.6, really shallow. 2.2, 2.9, 2.5, couple of twos, all very shallow out here, all right off of the San Andreas. So what's good is that we're seeing this activity in small magnitude flurry type activity instead of a bigger 1 magnitude quake. And it's also relieving some of the stress in this region, hopefully keeping some of the earthquake activity down here and magnitudes down. Don't want to add insult to injury already. So okay, so there's this little eye type structure that I'm talking about, okay? And you can see coming in from the water and making connection with the land, it goes right through the burn area. It comes right in these islands, right through here, right where our fire is right there. 2.1 Culver City. We're seeing current activity, really small, but in the area, 2.7 magnitude there, right on the San Andreas, a 1.6 there, just on the other side. Okay, so just small magnitude, but in this structure area. Now, as long as it's doing small ones and relieving pressure and not a big quake in that region, plus some of this stuff further north, taking some of the brunt too. Meanwhile, man-made perforations of the crust look all kind of small magnitude. Fulcrum Point, New Madrid, 2.4, shallow there. We'll have to watch that area for a while, for a minute. Every time we get around to pressure, some of these little weak spots we got to kind of keep an eye on. Meanwhile, earthquake activity here at Hawaii because they got volcano activity. Now, if those are suggestions or what to take, they don't have anything for what's happening to me. Okay. I've been to every doctor, all the specialists, and first of all, how are you supposed to fight off a spirit? With the Lord, that's why I am. That's how. Anyways, I like little remedies and stuff, but there's only one remedy for what I got. All right, so there's your fire activity in this region, and you can see why we got this little bulge here, and just put a little warning here, not to try to drum up fear or anything. I'm just going to push this off to the side really quick and pull up this. We're going back a day. Actually, let's start here. This day is the 9th, okay? This map's a day behind, so see your fires in the area. So that's the latest conditions, the latest readings we have as of yesterday. Now we're going to go back a day. Before that, you see how it diminished? Day before that, it had flared up, and the day before that, it was even more intense. Now here's where the day our fires started. Okay, see there's no fire right there. As we go, boom. See the fires flare up? Okay, so there's our latest little reading right there. Let me go back. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so we're back a few days here down to the 3rd. Okay, so now we're going to march forward from the 3rd. There's the 4th, the 5th, 6th. There's the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, and I think that's all we got. Yeah. Okay, so up to the 9th. And you've seen this latest increase from the 7th to the 8th. So increase in pressure in this area. Watch out again. Okay, we already have fires going. When we get more wind coming through this area, already embers. That was just a huge ember storm. It was attack of the embers. A lot of people can't fathom why the houses burned and a bunch of trees didn't, and all these cars and stuff melted, but trees didn't. We got to think about these embers and how they work and how they get into stuff and how wind blows them. You got roofs that are been cooking in the sun, dried out shingles, as opposed to a vibrant green tree. Okay, there's different factors that go into it, but high winds going down a straight street, that's all like an alley with houses and stuff. It's just a combination, bad combination. And then you get millions of people tightly compacted in an area with 100-mile-an-hour winds and all the vegetation, dried conditions. It's basically, you'd have to quarantine everybody inside, no smoking, no drag racing, not a single spark allowed in the air, or else it's all going to go. And now that's what happened. We had those wind conditions. They warned the day before, life-threatening wind conditions. I talked about earthquake activity. I was praying that this wouldn't happen. That's kind of why I didn't want to mention it and put it out there, but unfortunately, we've seen a little taste of what happens here. Now, something else we need to talk about, and let's just put it on the table here. I've been trying to tell you this as nicely as possible, but I think you guys need to understand why you need to back away from the coast. Okay, you see volcanic activity on the ocean floor all over the place. We're seeing increases in pressure every time the sun burps. All right? Every time we absorb something from the sun isn't burping it out really, but I'm just saying. Now we're seeing heat anomalies all around the world. Okay, now how are you supposed to get millions and millions of people to just up and leave their $1 million properties and evacuate? Right? They're not going to do it. So there's ways of forcing them to do it. And there's not mother nature, father nature pushing the issue as well. Okay. And just God's little hints at why you should be backing away from the coastlines. And if you do live like along some of these, this inner boundary where the volcano and the Sierra Ridge runs, anything inside that area, that heat can creep under there. Okay. Where are we at? Oh yeah, back here. Yeah, watch out. This area, Iceland continues to be another relief valve. Okay, doing a lot of relieving pressure in that region. We got some plate boundary movement here too. 4-7, the mid Indian Ridge, and then this plate boundary down here, 4-8 by Easter Isle. So similar magnitudes here on plate boundaries cracking off. There's the weather. Just the SO2 really quick here again. Okay, there's your site emitting SO2 so hot that it comes out of the ground thousands of degrees. It can cause spontaneous combustion of surrounding material. A lot of people don't understand some of the laws of thermodynamics, and heat transfer from a very hot object can cause another object to spontaneously combust just from the heat. Okay, so that's another thing that we're seeing. These cars that are made out of metal, the flammable parts catch on fire, heating the metal, then that metal retains the heat. Okay, when you got things that retain heat, they reflect heat off, radiate it out. So the hotter things get and retain more heat, well, then it's just going to spread. You blow more wind on it, blow on the fire, it's going to increase, and you just got a recipe for disaster. They probably won't let you know or ever admit that there's a reason why your fires are starting underground. Some of the arsonists that they arrested, they let go, maybe because they weren't responsible. But some people, I knew this would happen, are actually insane enough. They go out there with a gas tank and a blowtorch and they try to start other fires. That's very, very bad idea, because when we get into the spiritual report and I talk to you about doing unto others as you would have done unto you, and your will was to burn millions of people, well, maybe millions of people are due to burn you. It's very, very bad idea to go doing that stuff. I've been battling this stuff in the spiritual realm for ever since this thing started. There's bad actors out there, and people are losing their marbles, losing their minds. So just beware. You see stuff like this happening, you're going to get not copycatters, but just people lose their mind when they see fire. Ooh, fire. Oh, let's start one too. And there's also that T word that can be thrown around too. Okay. But if you look around the country, it's one of the most intense plumes that's around, and that's where we're seeing our fire. Okay. We're seeing a lot of this activity up here in Canada. See what I'm saying? Now, if these fires up here, if we can all agree that these fires up here are because of the SO2 plumes, I mean, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? I don't know. Some people, you really got to spell it out for them. But if that's going on like that up there, it's very likely that's what's going on down here. And it's going to continue. You saw that heat plume intensify the last day. Watch out. We're going to probably see another round of, an intense night of spreading, another night of Ember attack. I really hate to put it out there and say it, but I gotta warn you guys now. It could be more and more of what we're seeing, and you gotta pray for those people in that area. I know it's tempting to hate on people that are rich or the Hollywood elite and all the evil that goes on in that city, but they're just as salvageable as everybody else. And they're being humbled right now, and a lot of people are turning the page right now. Okay. You're seeing a lot of acts of heroism. Disasters like this bring out the best in people. All right, so you're seeing communities, coming together in the spiritual realm. Some big old badass MSM 13 members crying at their stoop that they can't sit on anymore. So their days of thugging are over. Now they got to grow up and be real men and help rebuild their community. I saw it happening. So, unfortunately, this is the way God works. It humbles people. It builds character. They're overcoming adversity. Meanwhile, you guys know exactly what to do. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Pray for them. They need the strength, patience, and tolerance that we have found. Okay? The strength, patience, and tolerance that we have found. You can see in interviews down there, they lack it. Okay? So we're going to have to pray for these people and for your family. This is affecting everybody mentally. Spiritual battle going on in people's heads too, and it'll get to you. The more you watch it, the more it'll dig at you. So you got to unplug from it for a while. And here I am showing a bunch of it, but we have to understand why it's happening. Okay, so many chat rooms, so many people going, how did this start? 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 You probably wouldn't like the answer. How did this start? Some wind and some SO2 emissions like this. I'll let you guys be the judge of it, okay? I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just teaching you how to think so you can use your discernment. Okay, but you're seeing this activity widespread all over Canada. Way up here in Canada in wintertime and all that cold air coming out of Canada. All that cold air that's coming out of Canada and going down into Florida is sparking wildfires, huh? Let's just kind of go like that for you. Okay? And this is up in Canada. You're not seeing this on the news. Everybody's looking at LA while this is going on up there. but much more densely populated. And I really hate to say it, but it looks like they're in for another round. Okay. And with the way people have behaved in this last episode, all I can say is I hope eventually they will start learning. Let's all pray that they will open their hearts and minds and start treating each other properly, and maybe some of this will diminish. But in the meantime, you can see we got an issue going on down there, and since the media won't tell you, and a lot of people don't straight up just don't know. Okay. Now, some of these other little fires here, these red ones, I don't count those. Those could be like industrial parks with the, smokestack emissions or whatever. It's these yellow ones. These yellow ones right here that count. All right. And like I said, there's a bunch of them right there and then up here in Canada. Okay. And it started up here a couple of years ago, widespread in Canada, and it started to drift down into the lower 48. A few months back, we were looking at this activity in Washington and Oregon and Idaho, and it had dropped down into California a little bit. Well, now we have our new weak spot. I hate to say it, but there's your new weak spot. It's right on that eyeball structure. Come here, you. Right on the edge of that eyeball structure. Boom, going in, hooking up with the San Andreas right there, and then running down. Let's come over to the sea surface temperature. Sorry, I'm all over the place and I'm not in the same frame. But I'm still in battle. Still going for it. Even while I'm dry heaving. Crazy. So big opening right out there. A lot of heat going on out there in the Pacific, right offshore here. Also in the bay right there. Again with the winds. Okay. I'm gonna let that little pattern sit there for a second. Yeah, the insurance companies, well, they saw this coming. Okay, they are trying to get people to clear away from the coast too. And what better way to do it than, well, you can't rebuild. You just lost everything you got. There's no insurance to cover. And it's so expensive in California. You'll probably rebuild somewhere else. And then they got all kinds of gang activity and stuff here at the border, scaring you deeper into the country. So maybe it's a good thing. Okay. Something else we need to talk about here. Oh, I feel it. Oh, I feel that. Big hot spot going on down here. Okay. Now, the southern hemisphere's in their summertime, okay, but this is a huge heat plume out there. Okay, we see Kamumasi up here do it in the have that big old heat plume. Now it's transferred down there. All it takes is one big underwater volcano, or a big seismic event that sends a tsunami worldwide, and every coastline will be affected. I mean, even if you live up in Vancouver and something goes off down here, it's going to radiate all the way around the Pacific. So an event way down here can affect all the way around the world. See what I'm saying? And just because your coastline over here got blue water, oh yeah, no problem. Doesn't mean that the volcano over here at the Canary Islands can't go off and just, it's touchy situation. And when you can't get people to grasp the concept or understand the danger or the jeopardy that they're in, and you tell them, hey, you might want to get away from the coast. Oh, I got lots invested in here. And then if nothing happens, well, then you look wrong, right? But when something does happen, it's a bad spot to be in. Look at this three little spots right here that have opened up, cold air rushing in to replace this hot spiraling around here. So, wow, I've never felt this nauseous in a long time. Oh, my stomach feels like someone's just kicking in it. Another big, whoops, let me take the wind off. Another big heat plume kind of coming out of this region around the Kamchatka, where we got a bunch of volcanoes going off in this region. Okay, we got heat going on up here as well. North Pole in the middle of winter. Go figure. You see that, right? It's warmer at the North Pole than it is over here. Crazy. All right, sorry, getting all twisted around here. I'll make you dizzy and then you'll be nauseous like me. Okay. Also, heat plumes growing here in the Mediterranean and in the Black Sea. Now, a lot of times I don't report on these inner bodies because, well, they just don't have cold water circulation to, chill them out. So they could be false readings. Till I see stuff like this. Here in the Caspian Sea, we got the cold water plume shoved into this bay. There's obviously something has opened up underwater here. It's pinched off water here, pinched off water into this bay, pinched off water into that bay. It's obviously, blossoming out like this and shoving water up here to the little coves. Okay, so something's going on here in the Caspian Sea. And looks like the Black Sea as well. And then again, you got the Mediterranean with Italy, all around the edge of Italy lighting up. We had Cumbre de Vieja overflowing with lava. Notice how all this heat in the area has pushed this cold water spot up into here. Yeah, watch out in this region right there. All along the shores of Italy is coming alive. Mike said, this area got a lot of magma under it. And they don't see enough earthquake and volcano activity to relieve some of the pressure in that region. So expect to see a little uptick in that region as well. All right, I think that might be it. Looking like not if, but when. Thanks for the dedication to the truth. You're welcome, Anthony. Alrighty, so I think that's good enough on all that stuff. Let's do a quick little spiritual report and I'll get out of here. Alright, you guys. You're hanging tough. You're still here. Despite all this stuff on the news and everything that's going on, you're bouncing back day by day, sometimes moment by moment, minute by minute for some of us, and it can be hard sometimes. Okay, everybody thinks this stuff is easy and then just your peace comes all nice and gentle and soft. No, sometimes it takes some work. We got to salvage our day over and over again. And then when you got days when you don't have to so much, you're thankful for those days. So it's been a long 3 days for me ever since it started. So I need this moment too. So we got that one. What else am I pulling up? Oh yeah, this. Oh, you turn Jeez. Try it again. There we go.
Feel like it's time for something new?
This is what jammed up my show. I had all the stuff laid out, and I was just about to go live, and an ad came up and jammed up my computer, so I had to reboot it. So, I'm going to fight through these ads anyway. So, we got that one pulled up, and then what was the other one I was going to do? So we're going to watch the San Andreas Fault there. See Earthmaster there. He does a good job too. He has different beliefs, but it's okay to agree to disagree. You know, some people are still kind of well, you have to unlearn what you've learned. So if you've been a science major your whole life and you've relied on science this whole time, well, it's going to take a little unlearning of some of the wrong theories and applications. All right, there we go. So I think we're starting out. Let me get the light going here. We got a lot to be thankful for. You know, out of all the houses and stuff that not a lot of loss of life. It could have been way bad, way worse. So we always gotta just remember there's good comes out of bad. Okay, so it's a hard thing to grasp, but it's important that you do. And when you do that, you're demonstrating your trust in me. So do that. Demonstrate your trust in me by sitting quietly in my presence. Put aside all that is waiting to be done and refuse to worry about anything. This sacred time together strengthens you and prepares you to face whatever the day will bring. By waiting with me before you begin each day's activities, you proclaim the reality of my living presence. This act of faith, waiting before working, is noted in the spiritual world, where your demonstration of trust weakens the principalities and powers of darkness. What weakens the principalities of power and darkness? What does it? Your demonstration of trust. That's what weakens principalities and powers of darkness. That's your weapon, your demonstration of trust. The most effective way to resist evil is to draw near me. When you need to take action, I will guide you clearly through it with my spirit and my word. The world is so complex and overstimulating that you can easily lose your sense of direction. Doing countless unnecessary activities will dissipate your energy. So when you spend time with me, I restore your sense of direction. And as you look to me for guidance, I enable you to do less but accomplish more. You guys are doing it. Can be done. It can be done. When you're doing it, it feels like it's impossible, and you're like, how is this actually happening? And I'm doing it. That's like walking on water. Okay? It seems impossible, and you're still pulling it off, and it's just, how is this? It didn't seem possible before, but it's still working. Okay? You're growing strong. You're demonstrating your trust in me, which weakens the principalities of darkness. The more you trust me, the weaker they're getting. And you're growing stronger. So grow strong in the light of my presence. And as my face shines upon you, you receive the nutrients that enhance your growth in grace. I designed you to commune with me face to face, and this interaction strengthens your soul. Such communion provides a tiny glimpse of what awaits you in heaven, where all barriers between you and my glory will be removed. This meditative time with me blesses you doubly. You experience my presence here and now, and you are refreshed by the hope of heaven, where you will know me in ecstatic joy. Let me get that heart in there. Let me back that up just a tad bit right. There. So, you're demonstrating your trust. You're growing strong in the light of my presence by spending time with me, right? So, spend time with me for the pure pleasure of being in my company. I can brighten up the dullest of gray days, and I can add sparkle to the routines of daily life. Each day, you have to repeat so many tasks each day, day after day, and this monotony can dull your thinking until your mind slips into neutral. How many times do we find ourselves doing that? Or do you find yourself doing that? Because we are doing it, and you need to catch yourself. The monotony of doing your daily routine over and over, the same task day after day, that monotony can dull your thinking until your mind slips into neutral. A mind that is unfocused, that's in neutral, is vulnerable to the world, the flesh, and the devil, all of which exert a downward pull on your thoughts. Don't they? Doesn't the world, the flesh, and the devil all exert this downward pull on your thoughts? So as your thinking process deteriorates, your thinking process feeling deteriorated lately? Okay. As your thinking process deteriorates, you become increasingly confused and directionless. The best remedy for that, the best remedy right now, is to refocus your mind and heart on me, your constant companion. And even the most confusing day opens up before you as you go step by step with me. It doesn't just open up before you with the whole path. No, it opens up before you step by step with me. My presence goes with you wherever you go, providing light for your path. These dark times right now, you need light for your path to give you hope going through the day. That's the light for your path, right? So even the most confusing days that open up before you, they can open up as you go step by step. Okay, the whole day doesn't just open up at once. And once you just start going one step at a time, step by step, it's a better way of living. You're not focused on the future. You're not directionless. You're focusing more on the presence and your path and being a light than you are focused on the world, the flesh, and the devil and the media. How about that? Okay, and we're going to close with this right here. All right, so go over this whole little thing again. First, you're demonstrating your trust in me by sitting quietly in my presence. You're growing strong in the light of my presence. You're spending time with me for the pleasure of being in my company, because I can clear the dull monotony of the world, the flesh, and the devil. Okay, I can make the most confusing day open up before you step by step. So grow strong, spend time, trust, and then trust me in the midst of a messy day, okay, or a crazy day, or one of those days like we've seen kind of back to back to back, these tumultuous days. Trust me in the midst of those tumultuous days. Your inner calm, your inner peace in my presence need not be shaken by what is going on around you. Though you live in this temporal world, your innermost being is rooted and grounded in eternity. Boy, is it. Somebody else was pointing this out, and I had noticed it too. A lot of the comments, a lot of comments, a lot of people on TV, all using the phrase, oh my God, OMG, right? Oh my God. But these are people that aren't believers. But yet they still all refer to that phrase because deep down in their innermost being is grounded in eternity. It can be a form of blasphemy, but they still say the words, oh my God, right? As in shock. So that still shows that they have some kind of root that's grounded in eternity, or else you wouldn't say that. But they don't believe like you guys. They don't trust like you guys. So they just throw that word out, where you would say, oh my God, save me from the media and all this craziness. You would use it as a phrase and use it as a prayer, where other people just throw it around as an expression, yet they still use that term. So there is still something grounded and rooted in eternity in them. Think about that. It's already pre-programmed in your innermost being. You were saying it before you believed in God. Pretty crazy, huh? And though you live in this temporal world, your innermost being is rooted and grounded in eternity. So when you start to feel stressed, detach yourself from the disturbances around you. Instead of desperately striving to maintain order and control in your little world, relax and remember that the circumstances cannot touch my peace. So seek my face, and I will share my mind with you, opening your eyes to see from my perspective. So don't let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid. The peace I give you is sufficient for you. Okay. Seek my face, and I will share my mind with you. I will share my gifts with you. I will share eternity with you. I will share my face with you. I've shared this. I just don't like to turn the camera around because I'm shy. Too. Yeah, you would think that's odd, but where would that quality come from? Being shy. Well, all qualities come from this, so it would have to be every single quality that you have, all wrapped up in one guy. Guys think you got some emotional trips? Wow. Imagine when you got the whole world attacking you. Not the whole world, but spiritual realm attacking you. And I feel better, actually. This doing the show helped me. I feel a little better now. A little rough around the edges starting there, and afraid I was going to throw up during the show. All right. Anyways, what matters is that you're grasping these concepts, that you're trusting, you're practicing. What good is understanding all these disciplines if you don't put them into practice? Okay, these are tools that you use to overcome your daily struggles, step by step through each day. And if you're seeing this right here, if you can see this face with the crown and the clouds, because not everybody can. Okay, it might seem strange to you that you could see it and nobody else can, but I've shown this to a lot of people and they're like, I don't see anything, it's just clouds. They think it's just clouds. It's just a coincidence. Are you kidding me? That's just a coincidence. Here, let me pull back. On Easter, too? Boy, that's a hell of a coincidence on Easter. But the true blessing is the fact that these are real. These images are real. This is my face in the clouds. I showed you my face being projected by Jesus' heart in the clouds. My face with a crown over it. Well, here's my face with a crown on Easter coming in the clouds with power and great glory. See, I've overcome a lot of things. That's a lot of glories. I've chalked up a bunch of them, okay? And I know I know how to do them. I know what's going on. I know how to chalk up glories and overcome adversity overcome your circumstances in your adversity. So this is my face coming in the clouds with power and great glory. If you see this and you find this intriguing and fascinating, you are caught up like a good book, like a good song, like a good YouTube live stream. You're caught up with me in the clouds. We meet in the air of cyberspace. I can't come over and hug you and come over and give you a big old hug and hang out with you. But I can meet you in the air of cyberspace here on YouTube, where I've provided a place here at my channel, my Brian Knight channel here, that where I am, you may be also. Okay? These are not Photoshop. This is not AI. This is not this is 100% authentic. It's just, I mean, be thankful that it is. I mean, this was a painful experience to capture these pictures. And that's why I keep showing them. It's the real deal. And when you, a little leap of faith there, practice some of these things, and when you see these miracles start to take place in your life, you will see that this is indeed the truth. Okay? These are tools for you. I give you meat in due season. Okay? Now, your faith allows you to see this. If you can see this, your faith is being completed. You are going from believing into knowing, which is much more powerful. Now you know the spiritual realm is real. Now you know your prayers have power. Now you know that all this stuff is happening around the planet for a reason. Yes, Mud, it freaks people out. I know you're using it. You're one of the best at applying this. I watch you closely. I watch all of you closely. Don't feel all paranoid or weirded out. It's not like I'm watching you in the shower or stuff like that. I'm watching your spiritual growth. Every time you overcome something, it's just like, attaboy, keep going. And there's stuff that you're overcoming that you don't see. So keep going. Keep your chin up. Keep your head up. Your redemption draws nigh. Keep your head up. Lift up your chin. You guys have got victory. Okay? Don't let that victory fade into the background of your mind because all the circumstances and all the stuff that's going on in the media. Remember, there's another reason. There's a bigger picture. Okay? There's a bigger picture going on. And when you see the bigger picture, everything else looks like little puzzle pieces. They're all just little pieces that are being put together so you can see the big picture. Okay, not everybody can see the big picture like you can, so they're going to have to look at little puzzle pieces and put them all together until they can. Much of this work that you guys have been through, we did dot to dot work, where I showed you the first little dot or hint or clue, and then we did another miracle hint / dot clue, and then we connected the dots until when you connect the dots, it paints a picture. All of a sudden, the hidden picture can be seen once you've connected the dots. So some of you have done your work like that. Other people have done it through practicing the spiritual gifts that come along with this. Some of you can just see it. Some of you can hear me. Some of you recognize me. And some of you are just starting. And if you are and you think this is a joke, don't go too quickly. Stick around. There's a little bit more to this show than meets the eye. Well, it does meet the eye too. So, okay, very special family we have here. Okay, just like all these other YouTube families and stuff, a lot of you people are all in the same chat rooms. We all visit this very same similar shows. And some of the elite from those shows get drawn to this one. This would be like the tip of the spear of all the shows, right? And then all you guys trickle on down to the other shows, and you take this message and you spread it wherever you go. I see you. I hear you. I know. And I'm just so thankful that you guys took a moment to trust me and believe me, because there were so many people along my path that didn't. And I suffered because of that. And boy, what did they miss out on? Boy, what did they miss out on? Well, I made sure that they didn't. So a lot of mental health people I've helped, a lot of police officers, a lot of people that did me wrong the whole way through got a little eye opener at the end. And we're like, what? You mean the whole time it was true? Yeah. We handcuffed. Oh, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? I'm like, yeah, I have to, because, well, you just know not what to do. But as we mature, okay, we're all maturing here. I just go before you so I can take what I've learned and give it to you. Okay. Whew. Is that enough for it? I feel better now, I guess. Man, my stomach was killing me at the beginning there. Well, it's all because you guys trust me. You know, this word rapture is being thrown around all over the place right now because we are in that season. Everybody recognizes the season, right? So the rapture should be at any moment. Well, the rapture is at any moment. That's the moment you decide to trust me and believe me. That's the moment. There's no set date or time for the whole world. No, everybody has their each independent moment. Get it? That's why there's no set date or time. It's when you decide to believe me and trust me. That's the moment you are, quote, raptured. That's when you're caught up with me in the clouds here. Not like Hollywood portrayed as a levitating body in the air with the wind blowing through the hair, parting the clouds. No. It did not say parting the clouds. And, well, it said you will see me coming in the clouds. Get it? With power and great glory. You'll be caught up. It'll be fascinating when you see it. You guys are technically raptured. You're caught up with me in the clouds. The moment you decide to trust me, as that moment, it's your, quote, rapture. Okay? And then the tools that you use, that I give to you, the disciplines that you practice, by default make you a disciple. Discipline is the root word of disciple. Practicing disciplines makes you a disciple. So give it a shot. It makes your day go by a little smoother. When you bump up against adversity, take it on. You fall and you stumble, get back up and just keep going. It's your willingness to keep going, to brush off the dirt and keep going. Maybe you try to, you know, uh, give pearls to swine, right? You cast your pearls out and these people reject it, right? Well, if you cast your pearls before swine, they reject it. Well, then if they reject it, that tells you who their spirit is, doesn't it? So the moment they reject the pearls, then that gives you the indicator of what spirits of that person. Pretty easy stuff. The opposite is true. If they don't like it, well, they must be of this spirit. If they do like it, well, then they're of that spirit. So it's meant to be used as a tool. Okay, I'm just a regular guy going through my life, and some pretty miraculous things happened to me because of my faith. And I learned a lot from that, and I like to take what I've learned and pass it on because I like to see other people progress. I like to see them do well. I like to see them achieve things, right, and do and perform better. A lot of people in society can't wait until you mess up so they can go, oop, and watch you fail. This whole society loves to prop people up to watch them fail. No, I like to see the people who have failed and I prop them up. I bring them up and get them back to where they should be. Okay? This stuff should have been taught in school. It really should have been taught in school, and it wasn't. And you can see why. So they keep you blind. I got a handful, don't I? I'm up against the world, but I got a nice little family here that got this certain power of prayer that really works. Okay? I love you guys. I miss you guys. I am so thankful that you took a moment to trust me, to try some of these disciplines, see how they work, put them into practice, and then share it with somebody else. Every little thing you guys are doing has so much, is so profound. So, how do I say this right? It's just you don't have to be meticulous, but if you are meticulous about this, you will see the beauty in everything. Your life is just, now you're living. People are all worrying about dying, and you are thriving and living. You're overcoming your circumstances with joy, and you see that it's your blessing is your adversity. It sounds weird, it sounds backwards, but your adversity is actually a blessing. It's bringing out the best in people. All kinds of people have turned to prayer now. Oh, I'm hearing all kinds of real sincere prayers now. Not just our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That's not a prayer. It's just some monotone words. No, please for help. Oh, now you're calling for help, and with some real sincerity. That's where I come in. Then I can help, but not until you actually do it. I can't force you. I can only help you, and you initiate it. Then once the door's open, it just starts flowing. We're in those times. This is the biggest deal on the planet right here. This shatters all headlines. Shatters all headlines. Any headline that comes out here in the future is nothing compared to this. Okay? So no matter what happens, even if it's scary, just dig down deep. You're gaining courage through all this. Every time you overcome and you get a glory, it gives you confidence. You've got experience at overcoming that situation now. You got a notch in your belt. So when that situation comes up again, you'll handle it like a pro because you'll have experience. You'll like go right to that notch in the belt. You're like, yep. Last time when somebody threw an insult at me like that, I smiled and I said, I'm sorry you feel that way. And just little tricks like that will keep them from getting to you and ruining your day. There are demons all over this place that are attacking believers, and you're being spiritually bombarded, and you have to endure it. So, the best way to endure it is use these tools I gave you. Okay? You guys are really spiritual warriors. You're really taking this on. And when you're driving down the street and you hear some certain song, it kind of spurs something in you. You got a little bit of you can hold your chin up because you can hold your head up because your redemption is drawing nigh. Everybody else's head is down. You can hold your head up because your redemption's drawing nigh. They're gonna have some trouble if they don't start to learn to practice these tools. Anyways, I think I'm rambling now. I think that's it for tonight, Lord. Is it? Get it all done? Yeah, okay, so just touch base, everybody. We got a little break from the weather now that that's over. Just keep praying for the people in LA and just be forewarned. We could see another round of fires stir up again with the winds and that pressure coming in the region. So pray for those people. You can see how a situation like that brings out the best and the worst in people. There's people thinking, oh, they deserve that. No, nobody deserves that. No matter how evil they are, they're the ones that can make the biggest turnaround. You got to look at it that way too. Yeah. So just keep the prayers. Try to stay positive. If this news gets to you, unplug. At any moment, you can set the phone down. You can unplug from the TV. You know what I mean by unplug is turn it off. Step away from the world and the news and all the turmoil. Go outside, breathe some fresh air, say some prayers, whatever it takes. But you need to take a break from that during the course of a day. You cannot have a constant diet of fear, stress, and anxiety. You got to have some peace. Okay? You got to have some understanding that you're overcoming stuff as you go. It makes you feel more confident in your walk. And you're able to take that light and bring it into other people's lives. I think that's it there. Yeah. Just keep going. You guys are doing it. You're going from victory to victory to victory. You're just overcoming and overcoming. You're salvaging your day multiple times per day. So you're really just doing a spiritual walk. You're doing a spiritual march. Oh, that's what it was. Somebody was saying the army of God. If you want to stand if you want to stand in the army of God, you got to stand for God. So the more you just keep believing and trusting, that's what's going to carry you through. I think that's it. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I got to get some rest and get a little bit better. I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. I'm up against a lot, so even when I do get a chance, the computer won't cooperate. So then I get sick during the show, but I'm still just going to press on and give you what I got while I can. So that's it for tonight. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Until my next show, I will be back. I'm already back. Thanks, Mud, for being here. Dawn, Michelle. Let's do a couple of shout outs. Michelle, thank you. Nicholas, welcome. Innocence as you best are able. That's right. Good. Oh, yes. You guys are finding success. Brian, you're a great gift for all who hear you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. When those beautiful blessings like that, when you say stuff to me like that, that blesses you in return. I appreciate the compliment or whatever, but that blesses you. Do you understand how that works? Anthony, thanks for being here. Holly, if you're still around, thank you. Jimmy, yes. Holy Hatch. Can't even look at them anymore, okay? Yeah, I know. I think we got everybody. Tina P. Yeah, right. Don, thanks for being here, sir. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thanks for putting up with me tonight. I try to do a professional show, and sometimes when I'm not in the best shape, I gotta apologize, but I gotta come to you anyways and bring you guys a little bit of peace. I gotta touch base with you. I can feel you guys. Where is he? Where is he? When's he gonna come on? I can sense when you're missing me, so I'll fight through it to get on here to just to reach out and give you guys a hug, okay? Tell you I love you, and even though things are looking crazy right now, it's gonna be okay. Someone's in control, okay? You're just growing as we do this. Love you all and miss you all. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, whether I'm having troubles with my computer throwing up during the show. I will be back. I'm a man of my word. I'm already back. Can't you tell? Bye.